All right. What's going on, boss man? How you
Yeah,
been?
what's going? I'm going fine. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Been blessed. Today is another episode of Shout Ball Red Startups. I'm gonna give you a chance to introduce yourself, so let the general public know who you are, boss man.
First of all, my name is Daniel Jones. Catchfire King, graphic design CEO. Basically, we started in 2013, doing a lot of graphic work for outside businesses and local religious organizations. We also got started doing flyers for schools in the neighborhood, and it kind of got a green light to go when everybody started suggesting you should use your artwork for a business. You should start it up even more. So it started getting into it, and before I knew it, I had a whole bunch of people rocking with me, and I was like, I should go to just make it into a business. Got it. I'm doing good now. We're doing local jersey for people in other states and other cities. Right now, we're doing a couple things actually in South Africa. So I really think I'm proud about that for right now. Little more up and coming projects coming in, but it should be all right by then.
Okay. Well, thank you for that great introduction. So we all here to hear your story. So tell us your story.
Like I said before, in 2013, I started turning my hobby into a business.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I was doing in the past, it was kind of young and mediocre. I was drawing on shirts and selling them in the local schools, neighborhoods, to parents. And as I got older, I realized that I could actually do this for a living. And people were also telling me I should go and do it. So when I graduated from college, I took it a step further and decided to go and pursue that as a venture. And as of right now, I'm known in up and down the East Coast, a couple states, and over the Midwest. Actually, like I said, South Africa is doing a couple things with me. I got a phone call from Miami today, a couple people in Miami, cheerleading teams. I'm rocking and rolling.
Okay. So being a graphic designer, I know you went to school for it and everything, right?
Right.
What was that determining factor that make you really truly understand that this could be a business?
When I would have to say that when everybody started being on board to what I was doing, and I realized I had more of a talent for it than I thought I did. Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes if you have a hobby, you don't really pay attention to your hobby until it's too late. That it could have been a business. So
Okay.
I kind of say I caught it in time. I got out of my nooks and crannies, a couple of my failed missions, my failed ideas, failed business ventures, but now I'm starting to come along and understand the business more than what I did before.
Okay. Um, in your opinion, what makes a exceptional graphic designer?
On understanding the art of what you're doing, not just from the standpoint of, hey, I can draw, but understanding the history of it, understanding the Van Goghs and the Mozarts, and understanding that everything is art, no matter how you put it. It's art in some way, shape, or form. You have to understand it and know that every color doesn't go well and every aspect doesn't go well. But at the end of the day, it is still art. However you form it is how it's going to be, whether it's good or bad, it's still art.
Okay. Tell us about your creative process. How do you create a design?
To be honest with you, I use music. For the most part, it's music. If a company gives me an idea, I feed off of them. But then I also like to get to know my clients more. Like, what's the reason why you named this? What's the reason behind it? Is there a certain color that you would like to use? Once I get to know the customer, I get to feel the energy. I cut on some music, and then I vibe from there. Once I design it, I show it back to the customer. They like it. We go back and forth for ideas, concept schemes, and we flip it from there. By the end of the process, we have a work of art.
Okay. Let's say you create something and the client hates it. What is the process to overcome that challenge?
Well, I would ask them, what do they hate about it, and is there anything we can do to make it better? You want me to redo the whole thing, or take out certain parts, change the colors, anything of that nature? Because sometimes what they ask for, and you give them what they ask for, then all of a sudden they see it, they don't like it, but they got to realize this is what you asked for.
Okay. So when designing for a client with no content, how does that process happen versus a client with content or a vision of what they want?
A client with content gives you more free range. Like they're open to any ideas. They probably have one idea and they don't know how to go further on with it. But then, like I said, once you feel like energy, you can help them by embracing their brand and actually pushing them towards their brand and different suggestions you can help them go by and follow. But a person with already has the situation in mind, then you pretty much tagging off of them like a tag team. Now they're giving energy that they already know that their blueprint and they want you to put it together. And then once you put it together, it's always a situation where this one might not work, but since it don't work, me and you have an idea to come together as one to make it work better than what it was before.
Okay. Is there any brands that you admire currently, and if so, what influences do they give to you?
Oh man, any brands?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to honestly say, I'm not going to say, all right, Adidas.
Okay.
I love how Adidas can take anybody and make something out of nothing. Like if you know that all these celebrities pretty much wear the same shirt, it's just in a different color with an extra stripe. They're able to brand it and market it a certain way with a design that'll make you think, oh, this is hot. But it's actually the same shoe. Cardi B has the same shoe. Pharrell got something in a deeper blue.
Okay.
And Missy got the same shoe as Trent, except it's a brighter pink and it's a bell on it.
Okay.
Them little added things make the shoe totally different.
I've never seen it that way, honestly, to be blatantly honest. Now that you mention it, yeah, I honestly see that.
I mean, think of the Jordans. You know, back in the day, our Jumpmans, they only came in two colors, black and white and
True.
black and red. And now, 20 some odd years later, it's the same shoe, different color. And they sell them for like $400. You know, back then it's probably like $150.
True. When you put it that plain and simple, it is that plain and simple, right? What types of projects interest you as a graphic designer?
I'm really into right now apparel design.
Okay.
Like, I like talking to the coaches and having their ideas. Cause you can get a coach who has a football team was the name of the Scorpions. Something that's rare because you get annoyed with all these teams trying to imitate the NFL and the other teams that they look at you. Because at the end of the day, life imitates art, but to stand out of it, let's make art imitate life.
Okay.
So you might come to me with a team that's like I said before, the Scorpions, and you have a whole idea what you want. Your Scorpions team wants to look like the Steelers. God forbid, I don't know why. But hey.
Sound like you're a Ravens fan over there.
Absolutely. Baltimore born and raised, I got you, baby. But like that's
absolutely. I kind of got the head on today. This time it came in.
With you.
So I understand. When it comes to staying up to date with the latest software designs, how do you incorporate that into your business?
Sometimes it's a challenge because a lot of them come out around the same time. And then when I'm going to talk to another client, they were like, have you ever heard of this software or this software? Sometimes I ain't gonna lie, I will lie to them, like, yeah, I heard of it. But then go back to the office and look it up. And I have to literally take like a good 2 weeks to study it and then get back to them. Like, hey, I can do this now. Some software are more challenging than others. Some are not. Some are too easy. And the product is not always good once you design it on their software.
Makes sense. Okay. So being a graphic designer, do software matter, or is just a matter of pulling out a pen and pad and just drawing?
Software matters. Software matters because you can do certain things on certain software. Now
okay. Can you elaborate that for me?
Like back then, I prefer to use Adobe Photoshop.
Okay.
Photoshop basically speaks for itself what it is, your photos and your photography. You can do photo manipulation and all that, but to get deep into it, they now have a pen tool, which allows you to draw on everything. Back then, you only could use Adobe Illustrator. Illustrator, like I said, is in the name, illustrating your drawing. At that time, I wasn't good with that. My homeboy was, and I was doing Photoshop. So when we got together, it was a flip flop. Then he taught me Illustrator, and I taught him Photoshop. So now, once you look at what both softwares have, they're almost identical, except a couple of icons are totally different.
Oh, okay. You make that sound so easy, but that's why you're the graphic designer, right?
Hey, I gotta do what I do.
Um, how do you overcome creative block?
I literally had to take time away. I feel as though sometimes, like, I really had a creative block not too long ago. Every client that I had to tell them, I had to persuade them to go another way because I felt as though my creative energy was not there and I couldn't give them the product that they wanted. So
Okay.
I had to literally go somewhere. I usually go down to the beach, sit back there, drink some water, and sit back, actually look at the ocean for like a week straight. Every day after work, I would go to the beach and just relax and cut on some music and just sit there. And when my creative juices start flowing back, I'm calling them on the phone. I'm about to give you a phone call right now as soon as I get back. I might walk down the boardwalk and see somebody dunking a basketball a certain way. I'm like, that's hard. That picture should be on the jersey with some sparkles on it. Something like that. And I'm back.
Okay. Um, why did you choose this type of business out of any other thing that you was good at throughout the years?
Honestly, it had something to do with the death of my dad.
Okay.
My dad was one who was always into the music, and he always told me that music helps you get over everything. And with my mom, she was also a part of, like, both of their deaths played a good part in me. Like I said, my mom died in 2010, and before that, she was the graphic artist of the family.
Mm-hmm.
So I would imitate her and my cousin as well. And they would draw with music in the background. I'm drawing, and my inspiration for them was that. And because back then I was a baseball player.
Okay.
I loved baseball, and drawing took over. Baseball started looking like I'm playing in a cartoon. Every day look animated and all of a sudden.
Okay.
So
Okay. That's deep. When it comes to you as the individual, what sets you aside from other people that's in your field that does exactly what you do?
I believe I'm better than a lot of people. I like to actually get to know my customer.
Mm-hmm.
Like the reason behind what they're doing, the reason behind why they chose this, and all their art. Because you would be surprised the reason why somebody named their shoe company Tony Shoes. Tony might have passed away, or Tony might have been their first child, or their father's name. There's
Okay.
always a reason behind everything. I truly believe in my heart there's a reason behind everything. You might not understand the reason, but that reason is there, and I love to get that out of their customers.
Okay. So, speaking of that reason, to piggyback off of that, right? What was the reasoning for
Okay.
naming your business the way you named your business?
Okay, so in college, my professor will always see my artwork, and he'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
"Dan, your work needs to catch fire. It needs to catch fire." And I was like, "Why he keep talking about my work and nobody else's work?" And he was a real Hunger Games fan.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking to myself, maybe do you think I'm Katniss or something? I don't understand. And then I graduated, and he was like, "Dan, I always picked on you because your work always caught my attention, no matter who else in that class. Your concepts are different from everybody else. There's like 20 people in this class. But I chose to go the different route when everybody went left. So that Catchfire was one of the names on my list. And then I wound up talking to one of my homeboys by the name of Warren. And I was talking to him. I showed him all the list of names that I had. And he was like, "You got to have that one name that sticks out farthest to you." And I told him, he was like, "What about Catchfire? That seems simple. That seems nice. And it's also different." And I went with it. And Kings, because I really believe who I am. That you can't be in this field unless you don't know who you are, where you stand. And I believe my company is king amongst all of us. You might have more money than more followers, but you still can't do what I can do.
Okay.
So I'm Catchfire King, no matter what.
Okay. That's fair. That's deep. And I think a lot of people didn't know that because I sure didn't know that before this interview. What makes your business different from other big box businesses that does what you do? What makes you stand aside as a business owner?
I'm in the field.
Mhm.
A lot of the business owners nowadays, you sit up and look down. I'm not looking down at you. I'm down there with you on the field. I don't want to look at you looking down there. I don't know what you're talking about, and I can't feel your energy. My company is based upon about feeling your energy. If I can understand you or get a glimpse of how you feel about your design, I can cope with you. I can't understand how you feel from 40 floors up looking down at the pool party because I don't know what you're really saying. You could be dancing to my music, but hate me at the same time.
Okay.
So I'm down there with you.
How do you measure a design's success?
There is no way except for when the client comes back and they start to bringing up the old designs. They say, our design starts for you in April for your basketball team, and then November you come back to me and be like, hey, you remember you did this for me? And you show me that picture, and I'm like, yeah, I did that. Like, yeah, excuse me. I'm like, yeah, well, can you make something more fire than that? Now you challenge me.
Okay.
So now I'm like, okay, you came back. Yeah, man, this design was dope, man. I like it. I want you to do another one for me. So now we're in this whole designer process again where I have to go through it again, and we're all talking for hours. I talk to clients on the phone for hours. I even get in trouble for
I understand.
it.
Being a married man myself, I'm in trouble all the time for the same thing. So I understand.
Hey, yeah, it's a good process, and like I said, that is also the reason why I love what I do.
Mhm.
Because even though it has its down moments, but when it's up, it's up. You just have to be prepared for when them downs come. You still can't show that you're down.
That's a part of
So,
pivoting. No, that was my next question. It's funny that you did, right? So, can you recall a time that you had to pivot, and what did you learn from that pivoting lesson?
oh man, this is about to get deep.
Okay,
So
that's fair.
I collabed with a guy in Michigan
Hmm.
on some designs for this show called Friday Night Tights. This
Okay.
was a football show back then, and the last season I did a couple designs for him to show off to them. We decided to split it down the middle. My youngest didn't know the mindset of the business. I never did a contract.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So when Netflix came on with the show, me and my son looking at the show, and I'm like, I know this hat. I know this shirt. And I'm calling the dude, like, bro, you made the contract? He was like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. What you mean? And he was like, yeah, I don't know. But when I wound up calling the company that did the shirts for him, he was like, yeah, they split the money with him and other people. Like, the other team from Netflix paid him good, like the bag.
Hmm.
And I felt bad, but at the same time, that was a learning process. Like, I'm not going to go into a situation without having a contract first. That bag is gone now. Like, not again.
Okay. I mean, that's fair to be honest, right? Since we here, right? Um,
Right.
Having my computer company, which we've been around for that. If
Mm-hmm.
no one noticed yet, that we have history. We've been around each other for some years now, right? And we known of
We
each
old.
other for some years. Um, but to have a computer company, I can't tell you how many times I fix computers on the humble just to get my name out there, right? But then
Exactly.
on the other side of the fence, where though I had people because I'm starting up, they would rather play Geek Squad instead of paying me, and I was going to do it for free. So I truly understand the trials and tribulations, but again, in business, we don't have no way of like pivoting or knowing that until we go through it to a degree, right? Now we can
Right.
always ask certain
Right.
people and things of that nature, and sometimes our pride and or issues come into the play of that, right? But
Mm-hmm.
that's another story for another day. But happily that you learned from that lesson. That's a blessing that you was able to recover from that lesson because a lot of people don't recover from them things.
Right.
So you was able to recover. So that's the key thing to understanding, how to pivot and become better from when you lose something, right? We're
Absolutely.
coming to the end of the segment, and it's been a blessing talking to you today, right? So if you had a chance to name this segment, what would you like to name it?
The end of the beginning.
The end of the beginning?
Yes. Because we're right at this moment, this is my beginning. Because I feel like this is a fresh start for me. This is the end of it. Now we have to move on that.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's definitely it. Other than that, I love to give all my guests a time to give their new products, services, a shout out, where they can meet or greet you for the up and coming customers base. How can they get in contact with you? This is the time to let all that information out.
Okay, first of all, upcoming projects. We also have a book coming out called The Untitled Nightmare. That'll be coming out summer or at least fall. I'm pushing for the summer. If the people get right, we good. We're also pushing for a comic book novel to come out in the Christmas time. Me and a collaboration with Chris Books Designs. We're doing something in the making. I have a couple of football teams in Florida. I'm trying to get this contract with Pop Warner. That goes
Mhm.
well. That'll be good for the spring and the basketball season. You can reach me at Catchfire Kings on Instagram. I'm not getting into my video game and stuff like that, but rather than that, yeah, Catchfire Kings. You catch me at Daniel Jones on Facebook, Catchfire Kings on Instagram. I'm always on here posting something.
Okay. Okay. Do you, besides all that, Catch Fire Kings, do you have a web page or anything going up?
I have a webpage coming up in August. I had to redo it and synthesize some things to actually push myself to finish it. It was done, but I put it down to get some tweaking involved in it. But other than that, it'll be up in August. But like I said, until then, please hit me up on Instagram and other social media, Instagram, my Facebook, and Live Forever Me on Twitter.
Okay. Other than that, I want to thank you so much for the time and patience to coming out today. Definitely, man. Again, I appreciate every business that come on the show that want to tell their story and share that. I also want to encourage, once you get your webpage up and running, give us a shout out. We'll shout you out. We'll look out and support as much as we can. We just want to
Absolutely.
see Black businesses grow to be astronomical, the new Fortune 500 companies. If we don't
Absolutely.
support each other, who going to support us, right? That's what the platform is big on. That's what we're aspiring to be, just being able to support each other for the betterment of each other, right?
Shout out to
Other
you
than
for this
that, folks,
platform,
for
guys. This
those that
platform is
tuned in
amazing.
today, say that again, I do apologize.
You good, bro. So shout out to you for this platform, and this platform is amazing. You keep this going, bro, because there's a lot of us out here that need your help.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm trying the best I can do, and I'm gonna keep doing what I can do. So
No problem,
again,
no problem.
definitely. Thank you so much. So big ups to everyone. Big ups to Catch Fire Kings. If you didn't get the information, this will be up on YouTube in a few. Again, thank you so much. You guys have a great day for tuning in. Thank you again, Mr. Daniel Jones.